Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are LA.
Overcast skies here at the Big A as interleague action continues this weekend in Southern California. Today, it's the rubber game of the series between your Angels and the visiting Atlanta Braves on Family Sunday. Plenty of kids in the house this afternoon. Hi, everyone. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Mark Gubizza. We mentioned the rubber game of the series. Well, because the Angels had a terrific shutout victory on Friday night. Irvin Santana, his 6th career shutout and complete game, picking up that first victory of the weekend. And, of course, last night the Angels took a 4-0 lead early, could not hold on to it.
Well, you knew this was going to be a tough series, Victor. The Atlanta Braves, a very good ball club leader, contending in that NL East, arguably one of the better divisions in baseball. Trumbo got that chance to be able to get the hands extended, hit a 3-run home run. You mentioned Irvin Santana, just dominant. Not one Brave got to second base against Irvin. 7 punch-outs, no walks in that 4-hit shutout. And last night, Pinheiro was rolling. Got that early lead with Bobby Abreu getting that fastball in her half, turns on it, 2-0 lead. Then Torrey Hunter, a big base hit, starting to swing the bat much better. 4-0, you think you're in there. But Joe Mather, I'll tell you what, he's had an outstanding series. 6 hits, including that 3-run home run. And then the flare down the right field line scores Gonzalez, who got the second on a miscue in the field. So they did a little things to win. This should be another great game. It's been a great series so far.
A pretty good pitching matchup as Tyler Chatwood is going for the Angels, trying to bounce back after his worst major league start of his career, facing the veteran, the 38-year-old Derek Lowe, the sinker baller. See if the Angels can jump ahead early in this one. It's the rubber game of the series, so sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return.
Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-In Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. And by CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. Overcast skies here at the Big A. The lights have been turned on. We should be okay. No threat of weather here. We're hoping that the sun peeks through a little bit later on in this rubber game of the series. We'll take a look at the lineup that Freddie Gonzalez and the Atlanta Braves will run out there today. They are in third place in National League East, 3.5 games back of the Philadelphia Phillies, with a 26-22 record. Nate McLeod leading things off for the second consecutive game. Martin Prado is the third baseman. Brian McCann will serve as the DH today, so no Chipper Jones. He is on the bench. Eric Kinsky is in left field. Dan Uggla gets to start at second. Freddie Freeman over at first base. Joe Mather jumps up from the 9th spot to the 7 hole. Alex Gonzalez will play shortstop and bat 8th. And David Ross will get to start, bat 9th, and do the catching. Taking on Tyler Chatwood, and as I mentioned, coming off his worst big league start, still a 2-2 record and a 4.50 ERA.
Well, the big thing is attacking the strike zone. Certainly wants to change that up as far as the walks to strikeout ratio for Chatwood. The fastball is still very effective, but he needs to establish his curveball and changeup earlier in the ball game, not wait for it to go along, because eventually hitters time the fastball. Even though it's a good one, you just got to mix in his secondary pitches.
Tyler coming off this start against Oakland. That was that 14-0 defeat. A charge with 5 earned runs, even though he allowed 7 of them in 2 1/3, his shortest outing of his major league career. His previous shortest was 4 back on May 1st against Tampa Bay. His first pitch fastball is in there for a strike. Nate McLeod last night went 1 for 7 as a leadoff man. That pitch misses in. It's 1-1. His average at .238. 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. It's a Braves team that is very aggressive early in the count as that pitch is in there. It is 1-2. Manager of the Braves, Freddie Gonzalez. Not easy replacing a legend in Bobby Cox. Freddie, the guy that many of the Braves wanted. Something just happened to Nate McLeod as he took that pitch.
It's like his side.
Well, the Braves have been without Jason Hayward in this series, although we did see him last night making an appearance defensively. Look on the check swing right there, something kind of. And when you see that type of emotion, you're thinking oblique.
Yeah, no question. But it's in the odd spot, too, is his back oblique on that check swing. Trying to stretch it out right now. Well, it's one of those things that can linger, though. That will be the issue for McLeod. Maybe we can get through this at bat, but it's going to be something that's going to be to look at the rest of the game.
Yeah, if he's in that much pain right now, you figure it's going to continue to bother him. In trying to get through a swing, he may be able to start the swing, but getting through it might be the problem. And McLeod is going to come out. So you can take that practice swing right there, nice and easy to see how you feel, but that's not the type of swing you're taking at game speed. So McLeod is going to get removed here, and you wonder if Hayward's going to.
Well, that's a look that it's some serious discomfort. Yeah, especially if you throw an all-speed pitch and you get out in front of the swing, it's going to be it. It would be very difficult to make it through the game.
Might go with Brooks Conrad or Diori Hernandez. Looks like Hernandez is going to get the call. We'll take a look at the defense while we're waiting for the pinch hitter. The Angels have Amarista in left, Borges in center, Torrey Hunter is in right. In the infield, it's Cayaspo, Ibar, Izturis, and Trumbo. From third to first, with Jeff Mathis doing the catching.
Trumbo has done a nice job at first base. Covers a lot of ground, very good as far as the low throws. Very aggressive on pop-ups also. He's done a nice job as far as getting acclimated to that position and making the rest of the infielders feel comfortable, and that's why you see those pretty good numbers as far as the infielders making those throws across and Trumbo able to catch anything, especially being that tall target also.
So Diori Hernandez will pinch hit here for Nate McLeod. And you can do no wrong as a pinch hitter coming up in this situation with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anything negative, well, let's put it this way. If he strikes out, he gets charged to McLeod.
It makes for a really difficult day, too. I've been there before where you're on the mound, you get hit with a ball, and you're out of the game. You leave a guy on first base.
It's your guy.
Yep. He's coming around to score a few times.
Shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Exactly. I should have fielded my position.
So here's Diori Hernandez. The 2-2 pitch, a little chopper to the right side. A tough situation, too.
Not expecting him to play.
Yep.
To go into that spot.
So with one out, that'll bring up Martin Prado. A little bit of a delay as Nate McLeod pulled after checking his swing on a 1-2 breaking ball that we believe to be an oblique strain, but we certainly will update you once we get word from the Braves clubhouse. Here's Martin Prado, the third baseman, takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Prado 2 for 4 yesterday, including a walk and a sacrifice bunt. Lifts this one in the air to right. Torrey back a couple of steps. And there are 2 outs. Prado came in hitting .288.
And this has been the big spot for Tyler Chatwood, getting those first 2 outs quickly and keeping the focus, finishing off the inning. I'm talking to Mike Butcher about that. The big thing with a young pitcher is you have to have that focus of finishing off. You get the first 2 outs, which is difficult, but that third out, get your guys up there at the plate. Get through it quickly, throw that first pitch for a strike.
There's Brian McCann, who had 2 big hits yesterday, a couple of doubles, as Tyler drops a breaking ball in there. I think that pitch, too, is going to be huge against this Braves lineup. They like to sit dead red, good fastball hitting team. And I think if he's able to establish that curveball early, it'll certainly set the tone for Tyler to kind of relax a little bit and kind of get into a rhythm.
Because when you wait too long to be able to establish your curveball, it becomes a tough field pitch for you.
0-2 rolled over to first base. Trumbo has it, takes it himself. A very easy 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Chatwood. We head to the bottom of the first. Isturis, Ibar, and Abreu for the Angels with no score. Who is at Notre Dame, son graduation, Matthew. So Rob Picholo gets an opportunity to manage today. Meister Isturis will lead things off for him. He'll play second. Eric Ibar is short. Bobby Abreu is the DH. Torrey Hunter is in right field. Alberto Callasco at third. Mark Trumbo at first. Alexi Amarista is in left field. Jeff Mathis gets his first start of this series. He's behind the plate. And Peter Borges, about ninth, in play center, taking on the 38-year-old native of Dearborn, Michigan, by the name of Derek Lowe.
Derek Lowe, good sinking fastball, 87 to 91 range, slider, changeup, fields his position well. Very good as far as slowing down the running game. 6-7 in his career versus the Halos with an ERA just over 3.
Meister last night 1 for 4, including a double, his 12th of the year. Hitting .303, 3 home runs and 13 runs batted in. There's Rob Picholo. No pressure as Ron Renicky was 6-0 as the bench coach in his tenure here. Sturris takes inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And I'm sure there's absolutely nobody in that clubhouse that has reminded Peach about that 6-0 record.
Absolutely not.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Sturris.
And one thing I noticed about Derek Lowe already is the fact is when he made that adjustment at one point to being on the first base side of the pitching rubber, now he's moved more back to the middle of the rubber. Reason why he made that first adjustment to get that fastball in on lefties.
He's got a full count here to start this ball game. The 3-2, 1 hopper under the glove of Dan Uggla into right center field. And the Angels get their leadoff man on board via the base hit. Take a look at the defense behind the Atlanta Braves. A change, of course, with McLeod now out. It's Prado in left field. Mather, who was originally slated to start in right field, is in center. Arakinski is in right. Diori Hernandez, who pinch hit for McLeod, is in third. Gonzalez at short. Uggla second. Freeman at first. And David Ross getting to start behind the plate.
Ross has done a nice job defensively. The pitching staff overall with an ERA under 2 at 1.92 has thrown out 2 out of 4 base stealers against them. And Derek Lowe very quick to the plate. This would be tough to steal against these two.
Ibar waving at that pitch. It's no balls and 1 strike. Eric yesterday 1 for 3, had a couple of stolen bases. The Angels overall had 5 against Tommy Hanson and Brian McCann. Quick throw to first, and Sturris is back. Derek Lowe has been around a while, now in his 3rd season with the Atlanta Braves. Ibar tries to bunt, bunts it foul, and it's 0-2. Derek originally an 8th round pick in '91 by the Seattle Mariners.
And Veritek went over to Boston for Heathcliff Slocum. That was a trade, right? Back in the day with Boston.
You're right, a slightly one-sided deal. Worked out well for the Red Sox. Ibar goes down swinging, saw 3 pitches, and there's out number 1. Let's take a look at our Hyundai key to the game for this one.
We'll break out some 80s band, damn Yankees. Can you take me high enough? The key against Derek Lowe with that power sinker is work him up in the zone. If you get it above the knee, around thigh high, becomes a very hittable pitch. You swing at that fastball down, you're going to see ground ball after ground ball because he's got great action on that sinker.
So Bobby Abreu steps in. Another throw over to first, and Sturris is back. Bobby yesterday 1 for 3. He also had 2 stolen bases. Hit a home run, his 2nd of the year, and that came in the 1st inning. Abreu takes outside. $19 runs batted in for Abreu, 9 doubles. As he pulls this one over to second, Uggla has it, feeds Gonzalez for 1. The relay in time, inning-ending double play. Leadoff single, erase on that double play. One of the books here at the Big A. We have no score. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. And buy Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich at participating restaurants. Top of the second, Eric Hinsky to lead things off for the Atlanta Braves with no score. Jab with a couple of ground outs and a fly ball in this first inning as Hinsky swings through that pitch, and it's no balls and a strike. Hinsky, Ugla, and Freeman here for the Bravos in the second. Eric yesterday 2 for 6, doing a nice job filling in with Hayward out of the lineup again. Fastball, go from 92 to 93, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Might as well try to go up a little bit higher at 95. He's got good late life on that fastball.
3 infielders on the right side against Hinsky. Lays off the breaking ball there. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another great crowd here expected this afternoon. Friday night, 40,000, 211. Last night, 43,000, 511. This being another Kaiser Permanente Family Sundays. That pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's that 94 mile an hour fastball, I should say, that we've grown accustomed to seeing from Tyler Chatwood. Just missed off the plate and a full count.
A pretty good spot on that fastball.
Good movement too.
Pretty good eye for Hinsky not to go after that pitch.
Lifted in the air down the left field line. Callaspo giving chase into foul territory. Runs out of room. So we'll reset and do it again. You've got the veteran behind the plate today, balking Bob Davidson. He's calling the balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn's over at first. Brian Knight at second. Jerry Lane. Beatles song?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Penny Lane. I bet.
Close enough. Norm will let us know.
Oh,
Probably
Norm.
sing a few notes to that song.
Hinsky rolls this one over to first base. Trumbo's got it. It's fair ball. And there's out number 1. Norm is the biggest Beatles fan in the history of mankind. You'd think it's the only band that ever existed.
Get all 40 of those songs and sing them all in about an hour.
Talking about Norm Peters, our statistician, who graces us with his presence every single game that we're at home. It's tiresome at times, but he's a good man. There's Dan Ugla, the second baseman. Takes a fastball for a strike. Ugla 1 for 6 last night, a 189 average, 7 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Quickly in the hole at 0-2.
I like how aggressive he is so far in this game, Chatwood.
Mechanics have kind of stayed in check so far. 0-2, fastball. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Dan Ugla. 2 outs.
That's a pretty good pitch. I still love this pitch as much as any pitch in the game. 0-2 fastball on the outside corner, whether it's on the corner itself, that's a 4-seam fastball with that great rotation, or just off the plate, because you make the hitter not only think, oh, is he going back out there, then he's got to try to track out, then you can come back in with a fastball or a breaking ball.
That's a 4-seamer with movement. You don't see that too often. Freeman takes the breaking pitch down low. They ask for the appeal, and Lane says he did not go.
You hear that terminology every once in a while when a guy's got a good 4-seam fastball, a little giddy up at the end. That had some serious giddy up at the end.
Freeman, the rookie, 2 for 5 last night, hitting .242. 4 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Kind of a Ryan Klesko type of build to Freddie Freeman.
Well, he had some good pop in his day when a member of the Braves.
That is pulled into the right field corner. That's going to go for extra bases. Freeman doesn't run all that well. He will get into second with a 2-out double. First hit of the game for Atlanta, first base runner, and it comes with 2 outs in second.
Freeman, better opportunity to get a fastball. He was ahead of the count to it. That's what you want as a hitter. But he did a nice job of keeping his hands through. That would just challenge him with it. You're talking about getting a good part of the bat on there. Hips locked in very well for Freeman to be able to drive that ball in the right field for a double.
8th double of the year for Freeman. And talking about Klesko, nobody had a better finish on a swing after he knew he got a home run than Ryan Klesko.
It's almost as if he was playing tennis. He'd catch it on the racket and just follow through. You do that with the bat.
The helicopter. One-handed.
The whirly bird.
The whirly bird. Mather takes outside for ball one.
Between him and Will Clark, who we used to call the Batman, he had the Batman cape after he finished his swing.
Yep. Braves in the series, 4 for 16 with men in scoring position. All of that came last night. There's a strike, 1-1. Braves didn't get a man into scoring position in Friday night's shutout victory by Irvin Santana. There's Freeman with 2 outs, standing at second base. Mather went 4 for 6 at the game-winning hit. The fastball missing inside, not by much. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
You get a great view right here of the drop-in drive for Tyler Chatwood. Not a big guy, but it's a lot of lower body generated and works over that front leg very effectively with his arm motion. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Didn't miss by a lot on the inside corner.
Two 2-1 pitch inside. 3 balls and a strike.
When you think the way Mathers has hit the ball in this series with his 6 hits, including a 3-run home run, that he would be susceptible to fastballs in. That's where you see him trying to attack. He likes to get his arms extended. Does a good job as far as hitting that ball up the middle on fastballs away.
That 4-hit game that Mather had last night, the first 4-hit game for an Atlanta Brave this year, is that curveball. He's in there, and it's a full count.
Getting some respect. 3-1 curveball. And you have an open base. You don't want to add on too many base runners, but you also want to, because a guy's hot like this, you want to make him swing at your pitch out of the zone if you can.
Payoff pitch is punched down the right field line, but foul. Fooled him on the breaking pitch. Very similar to that game-winning hit that he had last night.
Well, you would think right now he'd be susceptible to being locked in with a fastball. With a swing like that, slightly open stance, closes it, and then opens up the front hip. So unless you're super quick inside, a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball should be effective against him.
Another 3-2, and this a liner over the head of Ibar to left field. Amarisa comes charging with it. The throw is going to be up the line. It's 1-0 Atlanta. But boy, made a mistake again. Hanging a breaking ball there on a 3-2 count. Mather picks up yet another hit in the series and another RBI.
Well, any mistake that's been made against him in the series, he's capitalized. Came back with a curveball up in middle of the plate. Plenty of opportunities to get his hands back through. Curveball just spinning up. Just over the head of Eric Ibar for a base hit. Again, that fastball, you can see by his swing, the long swing on the breaking ball, how he would be susceptible to a fastball in, especially when he's looking away on you.
It's almost Ryan Ludwig-like.
And he's always had troubles with fastballs in Ludwig. You know, you go inside, he can get the fastball in early when he's guessing along with you.
Alex Gonzalez takes a strike, and again, I hate to harp on a negative topic, but you go back to that last start for Tyler Chatwood. 2 outs, getting that 3rd out, falls behind on Freddie Freeman at 2 balls, no strikes, gets the double, fell behind on Mather, gives up the single, all with 2 outs. 0-1 pitch. Gonzalez takes inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex hitting .258 on the year, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in, had a couple of hits last night going 2 for 6.
So often you see that out of young pitchers, you think you're through the inning. The reality is you're not. That 3rd out is always difficult. But if you get ahead, that first pitch after you get 2 quick outs, all of a sudden you have the hitter on the defense.
Braves with a run here with 2 outs in the second inning. Gonzalez pops this one up. Shallow right field. Torrey, a long run in. He's there. Makes the catch. That'll end the inning. But Atlanta strikes first. They score a run on a couple of hits. We're to the bottom of the second with the Braves on top 1-0. Off 4, 5, and 6 for the Halos. Hunter, Callaspo, and Trumbo. Meister Sturz had a leadoff single in the first inning, but Lowe got a strikeout. Eric Iborn got Bobby Abreu to hit one sharply to Ugly. Turned a double play. Torrey yesterday, a couple of hits, 2 for 5. Picking up 2 runs batted in. At that point in the game, it put the Angels up 4-0. That lead dissipated. Torrey rolls this one foul up the third base line. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Can you take the similar type of approach that the Angels took against Tim Hudson and carry it over to today's game with Derek Lowe? Similar type of guy?
Yeah, you have to. Hudson a little more velocity on the fastball, but similar type of angle. They're going to throw that sinker down. They're going to try to work down. Derek Lowe will throw a cut fastball similar to Tim Hudson. In on lefties, away on righties. A breaking pitch also, an occasional changeup. Bottom line, they both rely on getting ground ball to ground ball. You have to try to get them above the knees to be successful.
Way outside with the breaking ball, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lowe last year, 16 and 12 mark with an even 4 earned run average at 33 starts for Atlanta. Tried to go that 2-seam fastball on the outside corner. It's a full count.
Derek Lowe is a guy you know is always going to be deep in a ball game. Been successful as a closer and certainly as a starter.
Torrey chases the breaking ball, down he goes, and there's out number 1. Fans, log on to foxsportswest.com/Angels. Catch Joe McDonald's column on Mike Scioscia's coaching tree. And hear the results of the Angels poll question, which the following opponents would you like to see in interleague play? The Braves at 44%, the Mets at 26%. The Fish and then the Nats. No, pardon me, the Nats, then the Fish.
A lot of people want to see the Mets. I think they want to see the new ballpark, too.
Callaspo takes a strike. A lot of Braves fans here this weekend. All hanging out by the dugout. During batting practice, Alberto lifts one in the air down a left field line. Martin Prado comes in and over. 2 outs.
The Braves have certainly been a model franchise for a number of years. Successful. Majority of their guys come from their system also. They've done a great job as far as draft and player development. And when need be, go out and make a deal or sign as a free agent to be able to help complement this everyday lineup, and of course the good arms they've been able to develop.
They really, really do a great job of picking up homegrown talent in and around Atlanta, North Florida, Alabama.
McCann's a local guy from the Atlanta area. Catcher now DHing today.
Trumbo grounds one to short. Derek Lowe is going to have himself a 1-2-3 shutdown inning. We've played 2 here at the Big A. Braves on top 1-0. Coming with 2 outs. They lead it 1-0 as we start the 3rd. Halos with the loss last night, a game under 500. At the start of the day, half game back at Texas. Shutting out the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia. Matt Harrison doing the honors there, and actually that game is now a final. So Halos needing a victory not only to get to 500, but to remain a half game back, as that pitch is down low.
Incredibly low scoring series. What was it, 3-2, 2-1, and then 2-0 in that ballpark?
Pretty good pitching. Lined into center field by David Ross, again on a 2-0 count. 9th place hitter is on board, spins the lineup back to the top for Diori Hernandez. Fans, be sure to vote your favorite Angels for the 2011 All-Star Game in Phoenix, Arizona this summer. Voting now open and available at angels.com. Don't miss your opportunity to vote in players like Howie Kendrick, Torrey Hunter, Eric Ibarra. Many, many more. You can do that online 25 times, whether it's angels.com or MLB.com. The base hit by Ross is, Tyler's 3rd hit allowed. Ross doesn't run that much, being a catcher. No stolen bases or attempts this year, playing just in his 11th game. Diori Hernandez 0 for 1. He grounded out as a pinch hitter for Nate McLeod, who came out with the check swing, kind of did something to his left side. So Hernandez got in there. A sacrifice situation, bunts a foul. Almost looked as if Hernandez wanted to and tried to pull that bat back at the last minute, realizing it was not going to be a strike, and it's 0-1.
I could just kept tailing in on him. Don't get the bat out of the way.
He tried to pull it back after he made contact.
Well, the effort was there.
Yeah. one way to go about it. Quick throw over there. Hayas was playing on the grass over at third base. Anticipating a bunt.
You certainly see the difference with the National League Ball Club. They're up there. They were up 1-0. Still thinking in terms of getting a runner in scoring position. The Braves have been very effective as far as hitting with runners in scoring positions as compared to just regular hitting with nobody on base.
Good pitch by Chadwood there, up and in, and Hernandez fouls it off to the right. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
That's exactly what you want to do as a pitcher. Up and in with a fastball. Very difficult for a hitter to get that bunt down on that pitch up and in like that, because it changes the angle of the bat. Very difficult to get down on the ground.
Trying to bunt. Breaking ball is down and away. 1-2 count. Alberto backing up in third, but in that situation you almost would anticipate him coming in a little bit more, take it away from him. You wouldn't expect Hernandez to be able to turn on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and pull it. He's swinging here and he swings through it. And there's out number 1. So Hernandez is 0 for 2. Tyler picks up his second strikeout.
Good spot on that fastball too. Location exactly right. 2-seam fastball. Stayed on top. Running action below the hands and in. Very difficult pitch to be able to even put in play. If you do, you're going to foul it down the third baseline.
Martin Prado, the batter. He hit a fly ball to Torrey Hunter in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. I mentioned David Ross doesn't run a whole lot. The Braves in general do not run a whole lot. And when they do, they haven't been all that successful. 8 stolen bases. Haven't been caught 13 times.
Well, you don't see that too often. Caught more than you've been successful on as far as a stolen base. Pressing the issue as far as trying to steal, but it hasn't been successful for him.
A 1 pitch. Chopper foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Back to the regular schedule tomorrow night. Oakland A's are in town for the first of 4. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Interleague kicks back up in a couple of weeks. David Ross with a leadoff single stands over at first. 1 out here and a 1-2 count on Prado. Make that a 2 ball, 2 strike count. And Tyler had a very good rhythm early on, kind of slowing things down a little bit with Ross at first base.
That's a spot where you just that 1 throw over is plenty. That way you make him aware that you're paying attention to him, and then all of a sudden get that focus back on the hitter.
Especially with Brian McCann on deck. 2-2. Prado lines one to left, a base hit. Fourth hit of the game for Atlanta. They've got runners at first and second with 1 out. Here comes McCann, the DH.
Number 16, designated hitter,
McCann grounded out to Mark Trumbo in the first inning. The only inning in which Chadwood has had a 1-2-3 frame. He's retired the first 5 guys to start the ball game, but they have back-to-back hits to Freeman and Mather. Atlanta on top.
And a very good low ball hitter. He's hitting 3 double plays, but a guy that has gap type power, left center to the right center. Got to try to get him out in front. Very good fastball hitter.
There's an overthrown fastball there out in front of the plate. That doesn't happen too often.
He was trying to force that fastball. A lot of times when you see a pitcher do that, it means he wasn't quite confident in throwing that pitch. So he aimed that fastball. Again, McCann is a guy that good low ball hitter, fastball in particular. If you can throw your curveball, we saw that first inning, good sequence of breaking pitches to him. Got an easy ground ball out. You don't want to put yourself into a predictable fastball count against him. His batting averages go up higher, especially with him at the plate.
2 balls, no strikes.
Tried to get him to swing at the changeup there, but forced that pitch also.
Ross at second, Prado at first. McCann hits one high and deep toward left. Playable for Amaristo. Curls around to his right, makes the catch. 2 outs.
That's a big out there, especially behind in the count. McCann getting a fastball. Just enough late movement on that fastball gets him hit off the end of the bat and a routine fly ball to left.
So 2 outs, 2 on for Erakinski. Grounded out to Trumbo in the second. Pretty good history for him. If he's on your team, pretty good chance of getting to the postseason. At least that's how it's been the last 4 years.
It's like Orlando Cabrera.
Yep.
That's why the Indians are playing well again.
That's it.
He's there.
Off-speed pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And that's 2 outs and then 2-0 again. Right-hander batter on deck. And Dan Uggla, but a lot of power there on deck. Even though he has struggled with the batting average, he has pop.
2-0 fastball. Swung through it. And it's 2-1. It's almost like you've talked about a number of times about pitchers outthinking themselves. Go back to that first at bat for Hinske against Chadwood. Couldn't get around to the fastball. Ended up getting him ground out. And then you start him off the second at bat with a couple of off-speed pitches outside. 3-1.
Another off-speed pitch. When you see a hitter late on the fastball like that, especially when you have a good one, you're more apt to keep going after with the fastball. Then, as the game progresses, certain points of the game, you can make that adjustment, maybe throw a changeup or a curveball, but until he's proven he can hit your fastball, you got to go after him with it if it's located well.
3-1, he walked him, and they're loaded up. First walk of the game for Chadwood.
That fastball didn't look too bad. Again, they're setting up away, but that definitely got the corner. Not necessarily where the catcher set up. The strike's a strike.
Mike Butcher just hollered something at Bob Davidson. And rightfully so. I mean, Davidson was right there seeing the pitch. You tell Mike Butcher's not happy. Butch is one of those guys that is always jogging in, jogging out from the dugout.
A couple borderline pitches on the changeup itself. That fastball clearly got the inside part of the plate.
So Dan Uggla at the play with the bases loaded here. 2 outs. Uggla struck out looking into second. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Uggla with 7 home runs this year, coming off a year in which he hit 33 for the Florida Marlins last year. 1-1.
Well, you talk about a big part of the game for the Angels. Tyler Chatwood, Derek Lowe, even though it's early, he's had some good pitches with that sinking fastball slider. You need to be able to get Uggla to stay close here.
22 pitches thrown by Chatwood. 1-1 foul back, 1-2. Ugla picked up in the offseason in exchange for left-handed pitcher Mike Dunn and infielder Omar Infante. The Braves ended up signing him to an extension that takes him through 2015. Tyler trying to finish him off. Outside. 2-2. Very easy first inning. A couple of ground outs and a lazy fly ball to right, but a lot of work since then. Two is fouled off to the right. This one will find its place in the seats.
I'm just watching Ugly in his approach to the plate. He looks like he's a guy that's the inner half of the plate fastball hitter. Been tardy on those fastballs away.
2-2 popped up. Trumbo near the dugout. See if it stays in play. And Mark makes the catch just over the railing. That will end the inning. The Braves load them up and leave them loaded. We head to the bottom of the third. Atlanta leads at 1-0. First inning.
Still think Derek Lowe does field his position well. You want to make him field his position by having to come in on some bunts, make him more active on the mound.
Mauricio takes a strike.
He gets settled in, he becomes dangerous with that sinking fastball.
One ball, one strike. The Angels have had one hit over their last 9 innings. They've had a total of 4 base runners in those 9 innings as Amarista waves at the off-speed pitch. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 3 walks, and 1 single. Meiser getting the single to start the bottom of the first. Will come back into the mound. Saw a lot of that last night. There's out number 1. Hey, Sunday, May 29th, NASCAR on Fox moves to Charlotte, where Kurt Busch will try to defend his title and take home his 3rd checkered flag of the year. Coverage of the Coca-Cola 600 begins Sunday, May 29th with the pre-race show delivered by Pizza Hut at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, in high definition on Fox. Now I'm just making up time.
So fast, that's why. Can't even tell the time.
It says 5:30. Where in the world did I get 7:30 from?
Oh, it was certainly 7:30 somewhere.
There's no doubt about it. Clearly, in big bold, 5:30.
He's trying to pick you up.
Yeah. Maybe in my mind, I'm just 2 hours ahead.
Yes, you're always thinking ahead.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mathis.
Anticipating.
That is brutal. Mathis hitting 193 on the year with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Ahead of the count here, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I know it's a difficult task if you're a hitter going against Derek Lowe, but when you see those back-to-back pitches, the one that Jeff Mathis swung in and that last one he took, when it's starting at the knees, there's absolutely no chance that's going to be a strike.
Way inside, it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
But if you, on the other hand, if you're Derek Lowe, you got hitters swing at that pitch, you can just stay down to that level the entire game. You throw that cut fastball to keep the hitter honest, and of course your breaking pitch and a very good changeup.
Inside, and it's a walk. 1 out walk, first issued by Lowe, puts a man on. Second base runner for the Angels. And Peter Borges will step to the plate. Peter last night went 0 for 5. His average down to 245 now in the season. Couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in. If you force the issue with Diori Hernandez over at third base. Swinging first pitch slider, and it's no balls and a strike.
And when you're struggling, you're a young hitter, you got to track a fastball. If it's a fastball first pitch, yes, go after it. But anything off speed, you're better off taking that pitch, especially a slider from Derek Lowe.
Looks like a get it over breaking pitch. Not a bad pitch either. As Lowe comes off the mound for second. I think he wanted that pitch. It's almost as if he drops down. A little sidearm flip. That pitch caught the inside corner. It's 1 and 2.
And a lot of times when you're a sinker slider pitcher, you can manipulate the slider, change speeds with it. He's had a slider at 83 and a slider at 79 miles an hour. It's just changing the arm angle and the wrist action to be able to create a bigger break for yourself.
Missed with the fastball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mathis drew the walk with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Stands at first base. 2-2. Down goes Borges. Ground number 2. Strikeout number 3 for Derek Lowe.
Number 13, second baseman,
Back to the top of the order with Meister Astures coming up. He hit one sharply under the glove of Ugla in the 1st inning. Got credited with a base hit. He's 1 for 1. Lowe having to kick that rosin back down the mound. The backside there, sometimes it gets too close to the rubber and hitters have a problem with it. That fastball is outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
I used to love to put the rosin bag right up there.
Right by the row?
Yes.
Not that it's more of a just kind of a distraction. It's not like it's getting in the, it's not like a batter's eye situation. As this one's pulled into the right field corner, a base hit. Hinsky over to cut it off, does not throw that well. Mathis is going to be stopped at third base, and the ball comes in and off the glove of Ugla, and Mathis remains at third. A double for Meister Astures, his 13th of the year, and it's up to Eric Ibar now with 2 outs and runners at second and third base.
Boy, a breaking pitch that time. It got in the middle of the plate, and that slider didn't snap on him. Meister was able to turn on and hit that very well. With Hinsky out in right field, we've seen him play left field. Dino Ebel is going to be aggressive, but from first base with Mathis running, They want to take that chance, especially with Ibar coming up now.
There's Eric Ibar, a strikeout victim in the first. Saw 3 pitches. Takes a fastball right down the pipe for strike 1.
Generally, the approach for Derek Lowe against left-handed batters. Sinkers away, cut fastballs in, and occasional changeup. Right-handers we've seen already in this game. A lot of sliders and sinkers down and in.
Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels last night with men in scoring position 1 for 6. 5 for 20 overall in the series. They're going 4 for 14 Friday night. 1-1 pitch, caught the inside corner, 1-2. Little roller foul.
Right after that 2-seam fastball inside. For a strike, there's a changeup. And that's how he's able to get outs. Pitching east to west down, whether against the left-hander, whether it's a sinking fastball or a changeup. Very rarely does he elevate the fastball.
Another 1-2 from Lowe. Ibar again goes down swinging. That will end the inning. The Angels leave 2 men on in scoring position. We're through 3. Braves lead at 1-0. Home run record. Whose record did Babe Ruth break?
Wow, that's a tough one.
One nothing Atlanta here in the bottom, or pardon me, the top of the 4th inning. Freeman, Mather, and Gonzalez. I mean,
Tris Speaker?
I was just going to say, just you could throw out any of those guys. Rogers, Hornsby.
No, his baseball card is worth always a ton.
Who's that? Rogers, Hornsby?
Yes.
All those guys, right?
You would think so.
Freeman had a double and scored a run in the second, so he's 1 for 1.
Didn't his card go for like 700,000 or something crazy like that?
No, that was Honus Wagner, wasn't he? Honus Wagner has the most,
could be, yeah,
the rarest card of all, that tobacco card. 2-1 pitches down and away, and Tyler falls behind here, 3 balls and a strike. But all those cards back then, kidding me? Especially if you could find a A good one as Freeman unloads, fouls it off the left. It's a full count.
So it's never a good idea for me to play all those baseball card games, flipsies and all that stuff.
No
Back
chance.
in the day with those cards. Bad idea. Put them in my bicycle spokes.
Yeah.
For that cool sound.
3-2. Breaking ball. Got him looking. Down goes Freeman. There's out number 1. Third strikeout for Tyler Chapman to go with 1 walk. 4 hits allowed.
Locked him up with that good curveball. A couple times today. Very effective with that curveball. Especially when he has a little more velocity behind him, which is a real slow curveball. They can track it better. That's what Mather was able to do his first at bat to get that base hit against him.
Got that little Elvis move with that back leg on that breaking pitch. Pretty good move. Mather takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, I looked up Rogers Hornsby's numbers. 301 home runs in his career.
It's a lot, though, in that time.
In that time, right? He was done hitting them pretty much at 1929.
Could be. But your speaker. No, he did. He had some great offensive numbers. Home runs weren't big back in the. Remember that one year that Babe Ruth had 60 home runs? He had more than most clubs had combined.
3 balls and no strikes. He also made more than the president.
He's Babe.
He had a better year.
Yeah.
Every single year.
Every year.
Speaker hit 117 home runs in his career.
So I'm gone.
4-pitch walk to Joe Mather. Puts a man on for Alex Gonzalez. So you're gone.
Yeah.
His best year, 17. 1923.
Ball wasn't carrying back then.
No,
I think that's what it was.
No, it was big ballparks back then. The height of the dead ball era.
Bats weren't quite the same. They were actually like trees they were swinging. You ever see one of those Babe Ruth bats? How big those, thick? About 40-ounce bat.
It's like he was swinging a little person. Alex Gonzalez with a fly ball to right. He's 0 for 1. Strike and a snap throw to first and safe at first base. Big dive back in there by Mather.
Very effective, too. The bottom line is you love to be able to pick them off, but you're trying to keep them, get that big secondary lead to be able to go first or third if it is a base hit into the outfield. Keep them close. He was pretty good with that quick tag. Pretty firm, too. He knocks that arm off the base quite often when they're diving back in.
No balls, 2 strikes. I checked out Ty Cobb, only 117 home runs. I think I'm going to stick with Hornsby. May not be close, but
300. Yes, I think you're in.
Oh, 2 pitch. Gonzalez waves at the breaking pitch. There's out number 2. Strikeout number 4 for Chadwood. Mather remains at first base. Brings up David Ross.
Big curveball, 12-6 variety. Gonzalez doesn't really like a whole lot when you throw curveballs and breaking balls to him. He wants the fastball.
Fastball is in there for a strike. Ross had a leadoff base hit in the 3rd inning. Eventually was stranded over at 3rd. See 3 home runs this year for Ross. Career high 21 back in 06. Interesting note too as to who he hit his first career home run off of.
That is truly amazing.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Mark Grace. Yes, that one, the first baseman.
Yep.
Came in to get some work in a blowout game. Ross says, don't try to get me out with that slow stuff.
Took him deep. Foul back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, if you're David Ross, latter stages of your life. You got grandkids all around the fireplace telling stories. You got to fudge a little bit as to
who you get to Kurt Schilling or maybe Randy Johnson at that point.
Yeah, you can't throw out Mark Grace.
No.
And if you do, you better make it dramatic.
Yes.
Like it was snowing or something. Breaking pitch, loop to right field. Torrey's there. That'll end the inning. No runs, no hits. The Braves leave a man off. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 Atlanta.
Fastball elevated, crushes it down the right field line for a 2-run shot at that point, giving the Halos a 2-0 lead. Let's see if Bud Barrett swing and hit went out and tied this ball game today. Second home run of the season yesterday. And he usually goes in bunches as far as his home run swing of late. Derek Lowe, not easy to hit the ball out against. He's given up 5 home runs this year, which seems to be a high total for a sinker ball pitcher.
Wonder how many of those on the breaking pitch. They'll be facing the heart of the order here. Abreu, Hunter, and Callaspo in the 4th inning. Bobby hit it sharply the first time up and rolled into a double play, so he's 0 for 1. Takes a strike to start this at-bat. Derek Lowe, 3 base runners, 2 hits, 1 walk. Off speed is down low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bobby's 5 for 15 in his career against Derek Lowe, including one of those hits being a home run.
Off speed, line foul down the left field side. It's 1 and 2. Lowe has 4 strikeouts to go with the 1 walk as Bobby lays off the breaking ball. Jerry Lane says he did not go. The 2-2. Another off speed, full count.
Trying to get him to swing over top of that slider down and in. And it's not overpowering. At 81, he shows it anywhere between 79 and 83 on the break of pitch. Changes speed on it, but it's a trackable pitch. First full count of the game for Derek Lowe.
And it's a leadoff walk. Second of the ball game. And we'll go back to our AT&T trivia question. Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. Whose record did Ruth break? Roger Connor. 138 home runs in his career between 1880 and 1897.
Did you see that last home run he hit?
I did. Unbelievable. The film's a little grainy.
Yes.
But it was good. Throw over to first base. Connor ended up with 138 career home runs, a batting average of .316, and 1,323 runs batted in. It's a pretty good career.
Yes, it is.
Finished it with the St. Louis Browns. Runner goes. Torrey chops one foul, and it's no balls and a strike.
Pretty good guy to put a hit and run on against Derek Lowe, because he is a sinker ball pitcher, so you're going to get the ball down. You can hit that ball for a ground ball.
Roger Connor, by the way, started his big league career with the Troy Trojans.
They a pretty good team back in the day.
1881. 0-1 pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torrey, a strikeout victim in the second. So he's 0 for 1. Bobby with a pretty good lead at first. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Pretty good count now to put that hit and run back on. And Derek Lowe doesn't give you a lot of opportunities to score runs in bunches against him. He will give up some hits, but the more you have the defense moving around, the better chance those ground balls can get through a hole.
Bobby takes off. Torrey hammers one to deep left field. This one's got a chance. Gone! Big fly for Torrey Hunter. And the Angels are on top 2-1.
Was covered by Torrey. Bobby Ram going on the pitch. Derek Lowe did not locate that pitch well at all. And Torrey, his 3rd career home run against Derek Lowe. Jumped all over that pitch, and it got out in a second. That's when you talk about Babe Ruth and home runs. Hank Aaron, you might as well have one right there. And Torrey Hunter, his 5th of the season, 24th RBI.
Cayaspo fouling off the first pitch from Lowe.
Well, we talked about that pitch up. You get it above the knees. It doesn't have that same type of bite on it. Well, that's the key against Derek Lowe. If you swing anything starting at the knees, you have no chance but to beat it into the ground. That ball was up.
But again, we're talking about the home runs that Lowe has allowed this year. Six home runs now allowed by Lowe, and I made the statement that I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them come on a little hanging breaking pitch, and that's exactly what Torrey got.
That pitch is floated up in the strike zone, especially inner half, which Torrey has made a living on. Anything on the inner half, especially up.
Cayaspo rolls this one over to first base. Freeman waits for it, and Alberto's retired for the first out. So 1 out, nobody on for Mark Trumbo. Gray working the count to 3-2, the first full count that Lowe had gotten to in this game. Drew the walk, and then Torrey picking up his 5th home run of the year. 2-1 Angels here in the 4th. And here's Trumbo grounded out to short, his first time up.
And whether it had an effect on it or not, when Bobby was going, a lot of times an infielder was saying he's going. And as a pitcher, when you hear that, you try to do a little something different on the pitch to make sure you get contact or even a potential swing and miss on it, and then you make a mistake. Now that might not necessarily happen with Derek against Torrey there, but the pitch certainly wasn't where he wanted to throw it.
Trumbo lines one into the corner in left field. That ball was hammered. Prado plays the carom cleanly, and Trumbo's in at second with a 1-out double, his 9th double of the year. And in scoring position now for Alexi Amarista, who has seen a lot of off-speed pitches. And we go back to that double by Trumbo.
Boy, that's a great view on our Fox Mo as far as what he tries to do as far as that sinker. Tries to pronate his wrist, but he got underneath that. Fastball was up enough that Trumbo was able to turn on and hit a rocket down the left field line. That sound off his bat is amazing.
Amarista really expanding his strike zone over the last couple of games, trying to do too much.
If you're a pitcher right now going against Amarista, you can't throw anything near the strike zone. You're just going to try to force him to swing the pitch either up and out of the zone or in the dirt. He has to make that adjustment.
1 ball, 1 strike. Amarista hit a little bouncer back to low, leading off the 3rd inning. So he's 0 for 1. Little bouncer towards short. Gonzalez has it, gets rid of it quickly, and Amarista's retired for the 2nd out. Trumbo advances to 3rd. Alexi now 1 for his last 14. We had a double in Thursday's game in Seattle. Man in scoring position over at 3rd base. That's Trumbo, and Jeff Mathis steps to the plate. Jeff worked a walk in the 3rd inning and was stranded at 3rd. Safety squeeze. Lowe delivers that slider down and away.
Not a bad idea.
No.
Hernandez playing way back at 3rd. If he gets that ball up down the line at all, that's going to be a base hit and a run.
Oh, that fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield shading Mathis the opposite way. Swings through that one. And it's 1 and 2. One-two pitch. Got him looking on the outside corner. And the inning comes to an end, but Torrey Hunter snaps a string of 28 games without a home run, tying its 4th longest drought ever without one, but he got one here today. Through 4, Angels on top 2-1. At the top of the order here, Hernandez, Prado, and McCann. Diori Hernandez takes a fastball for a strike. Remember, Hernandez came on with a 2-2 count after McLeod was lifted due to an injury on the left side of his rib cage or oblique area. Haven't received word as to his status. Hernandez, since coming on, has grounded out and struck out. 1-1 pitch, foul back. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Never an easy thing for a guy on the bench to think you have the day off. You're going to be used perhaps as a reserve later on to all of a sudden jump in the box and start swinging. Breaking pitch, bounce toward the middle. Izturis is there, and Hernandez is retired for the first out to start the 5th inning. And the Halos host the Oakland A's beginning tomorrow, a 4-game series, but on Tuesday at 7:05, all fans in attendance will receive a Kendrys Morales right or left-handed bobblehead courtesy of Natural Balance. Tickets for this exclusive night are available at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by visiting angels.com. We have received word now on Nate McLeod that he did strain his left oblique, so more than likely a DL stint for him. Jason Hayward's been out due to a problem with his right shoulder, unable to play apparently on an everyday basis, although he was fine enough to go out as a defensive replacement in the 12th inning last night.
Affects him on his swing. It's a non-throwing shoulder for Hayward. That's when he gets full extension on the swing. That's when he has that discomfort in his right shoulder, his lead shoulder.
Chopper to the left side. Callaspo's got it. Prado's out number 2.
A quick ground ball outs for Chatwood. Now this is the thing we talk about. Get that third out. Get ahead and get through this inning. Not an easy task with Brian McCann up. But if you get ahead of the count, much easier to get a hitter out. The stats always prove that. 0-1 as compared to 1-0. A big difference as far as success for a hitter.
Off speed pitch. A little bit high, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes. Brian McCann 0 for 2. A ground ball to first and a fly ball to left. Breaking pitch, pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little more confident on the mound after getting those quick outs. Of course, getting a 2-run home run by Torrey Hunter. Give him that 1-run lead. More aggressive. Chatwood doesn't get a lot of borderline pitches, though.
No.
Well, that first pitch looked like it was a strike, and that was close also.
Off speed, rolls this one over to Trumbo. He'll take it himself. And a nice 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Tyler Chatwood. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Angels still on top 2-1. Fifth inning. The Angels setting up 9-1-2. Borges, Izturis, and Ibar. Kind of an overcast day for baseball. The sun looks like it wants to. They're trying to peek through here. You see a little bit of a glare right now, but see if the Angels can tack on some runs. Tyler Chatwood getting the Angels back into the batter's box very quickly with 3 ground ball outs against Hernandez, Prado, and McCann. Peter Borges, a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. One of 5 strikeouts for Derek Lowe. He's allowed 2 walks. Peter lays off that breaking pitch. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Important for the offense to add on now. Keep the pressure on Derek as much as possible.
Showing bunt, takes down low. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The beauty of being Peter Bourjos is the fact that you have that speed. And when you are in a funk, as he is offensively right now, you can take your chances and try to drop one down as he takes a strike here, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
With that speed, then all of a sudden you get yourself a hit, and then all of a sudden you start tracking the baseball better. Now, Rod Carew said it best when he came in and talked to us that one game when he threw out the first pitch about sometimes when you're struggling, just tracking a baseball and bunting it, sometimes you get a base hit, but all of a sudden your eye levels get exactly where you want to be to successfully hit a baseball.
3-1 is down low, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, it's a leadoff walk. Bourjos is on board. Brings up Meister and Sturz. I like the fact, too, that Bourjos is trying to change things up. Pulled his pant legs up. And not only that, he busted out the original stirrup socks.
That is old school.
That is legitimate old school. Quick throw to first, and he's back safely. More times than not, nowadays guys wear just the full sock or the color of the stirrup, which would have been the stirrup. Just wear red socks. The Sturz takes a strike.
Obviously, you might see some action with Bourjos, although 4 stolen bases against Derek Lowe this year. 2 guys were thrown out. Last year, 10 stolen bases, 11 would be base stealers thrown out.
Meister gives this one a ride towards center field, chasing Mather back, and he'll make the catch. Bourjos tagging and to try to get to second base, and he is in there safely. And he was late in tagging up.
That's that speed and great instincts. Also realizing he sees Mather going back on the baseball, and that makes it a more difficult throw because you're working back. Then you got to plant once again and then make that throw in. Once Peter read that ball going back and carrying, especially we always see that in day games here, he went back to the bag and tug up and got in the scoring position.
Here's Ibar. Ibar fouling it off to the right side. He's 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. One for 3 game for Ibar. Yes, he was hit by a pitch and also had a sacrifice bunt. And we're starting to kind of see that swing again a little bit on the off-speed pitches by Ibar, especially on the inside part of the plate.
And the advanced scouts have certainly told the Braves this, their pitching staff, that he has been swinging it now 2 for his last 23.
Grounds this one to first. Freeman's got it. He'll feed low. 2 outs. Bourjos advances to third base. So it's up to Bobby Abreu here, trying to bring home Bourjos, who stands at third. Abreu's rolled into a double play, walked and scored. Roger McDowell's going to go out there, perhaps just ask the opinion here. Would you prefer facing Abreu, the left-handed batter, and go back and face Torrey Hunter, the righty?
5 for 15. Abreu against Derek Lowe with 1 home run versus Torrey Hunter. Coming into the game with 2 home runs in his career against Derek, but also hitting .273 for now 7 for 24 against him. I always would rather go after a guy that I didn't give up a home run to, because that certainly plays in your mind.
76 pitches thrown by Derek Lowe. Going to pitch to Abreu. Bourjos over at third base. The Angels 0 for 4 thus far with men in scoring position. Bobby takes a strike. Prado very shallow in left field. Mather shallow in center and shading Bobby the opposite way, and Hinsky's deep and right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to stay away from Abreu.
Force him to hit the ball to left field. The home run that Bobby hit yesterday was a fastball in the inner half. He was able to turn on it.
1-1. Outside again. 2 balls and a strike. Looked like Bobby thought about pulling the trigger there. Took it. It's 2-2.
Well, that was a pretty hittable fastball. More of a get-over fastball at 86. Right at the heart of the plate.
Two on its way. Bobby lays off of that. It's a full count. Low again. Thought he had a strike. Davidson behind the plate, if you want to call him inconsistent, has been that way for both sides.
He's not going to give you necessarily that outside corner.
The 3-2. Bobby grounds one sharply to second. Bobble for a moment by Ugla. Regroups and throws out Abreu. That will end the inning. No runs, no hits, and the Angels leave another man in scoring position. Through 5, Halo still on top 2-1.
For the Coors Light freeze can. Mark Trumbo, the key point of the game, gets a good read, reaches over in that Brave dugout, and makes a great play on a pop-up by Dan Ugler to get through that inning. Looking right in the glove, made a solid play defensively. That was a Coors Light freeze can brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Here at the top of the 6th inning, the Angels up by the score of 2-1. Eric Hinsky, Dan Ugla, Freddie Freeman here in the 6th inning against Tyler Chatwood. The first pitch, breaking ball is down low. 88th pitch of the afternoon for Tyler. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks, 4 hits allowed. 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Hinsky's 0 for 1 with a walk. Evens the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2.
I think it's great leverage for that fastball. So to drive off that pitching rubber, get over that front leg with great extension on that pitching arm.
Off speed, got him. Took a little bit off that fastball, climbed the ladder, and there's out number 1.
Again, you've seen Hinsky having a tough time catching up to that fastball, even when he takes a little bit off for him, with location up. Unable to get his hands back up and threw that fastball by Chatwood.
Strikeout number 5 for Tyler. Here's Dan Ugla, who struck out and popped out. First pitch swinging. It's popped up on the infield. Who's going to call it? Ibar takes control of the situation and makes the catch for out number 2. Hey, the Chevy Diamond and Dreams contest is back. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a field makeover, and you could win a new Chevrolet. No purchase is necessary, and it's open to legal U.S. residents 18 and over. Contest ends May 31st. Log on to ChevyBaseball.com for more details.
That was one pop-up. There was somebody who was going to catch that ball. We've seen that a number of times where lack of communication, but all 3 infielders went after that, and that was going to be caught.
Freeman takes a breaking ball down and in. Freddie had a double with a run scored to the second, struck out looking, leading off the 4th. So 1-for-2 game. It's 2 balls and no strikes. The 5 strikeouts this afternoon, tying a career high for Chatwood. He had 5 against the Cleveland Indians back on May the 6th. 3 balls and no strikes with Joe Mather on deck.
Be careful here with this fastball. Don't just throw right down the middle. Freeman, even though he's a youngster, he could get the green light.
3-1.
Good spot with that one.
Full count now. Nice catching the upper deck. Bringing the glove. Payoff pitch. And that is ripped into right field. Is it going to hang up for Torrey? It's going to fall in front of him. Makes the catch on the 1 bounce. A 2-out base hit for Freeman. His second hit of the game. Keeps the inning alive for Joe Mather.
Made him swing his way on the base, but fell behind 2-0, then 3-0, then fought back to 3-2 count. Came right back in with a fastball, but it was down and in. Left-handers love that fastball down and in. He's able to drop the head of the bat and hit that hard in the right field for a base hit. 1 stolen base on the season for Freeman. He's been caught once also.
Breaking pitch in the dirt. Freeman trying to advance to second base. A throw down is in time. Freeman gunned down. That will end the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the Angels still on top.
Against Derek Lowe with Bobby Ray at first, and a hit and run, hit and gone by Torrey. Got a slide piece that got up in the strike zone. Now 143 RBI in interleague play for Torrey, which is 9th best all time. So Torrey likes interleague play.
Angels on top 2-1 here at the bottom of the 6th inning. A lot of kids in attendance today. Kaiser Permanente Family Sunday. Enjoying it thus far as the sun has made its first appearance of the afternoon. And Torrey leads things off against Derek Lowe. First pitch is a slider down and away. They ask for help, and Rayburn says he did not go. 1 ball, no strikes. It'll be Torii Hunter, Alberto Callaspo, and Mark Trumbo here in the 6th inning. Derek Lowe still an economical 83 pitches. Falls behind here on his 84th at 2 balls and no strikes. Torrey 1 for 2 with that home run that came in the 4th. 5th of the year, now with 24 runs batted in. So he retakes the RBI lead. And he's ahead of the count at 3 balls, no strikes.
Certainly the green light. You got to try to get something up in the strike zone. Otherwise, take it, because if it's down and started the knees, it's going to be ball 4.
Lines one into the alley in left center field. Nobody's going to get this one all the way to the wall. Torrey will stop at second. It's a leadoff double.
That's what you call a productive 3-0 swing. When you know as a veteran hitter where your spot is and you can drive the ball. And Derek Lowe threw a fastball middle of the plate. Torii Hunter was able to jump all over and get into scoring position with 1 swing. We talked about the need, if you're going to get that green light, a pitch that you can do some damage. He certainly got that pitch. It's in left center field now. A home run and a double. Last 2 at bats for Torii Hunter.
Back-to-back multi-hit games for Torrey. 2 for 5 last night, 2 for 3 thus far in this one. Callaspo swings and misses on a breaking pitch in the dirt. They're going to back pick at second base. Gonzalez, the shortstop, will cut in toward the bag. The baseball got away from Ross. No balls and a strike on Alberto, who's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a ground ball to first. Hernandez at third base, playing in at the cut of the grass. Almost hits Alberto. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bottom line for Callaspo right here is you've got to at least hit the ball to the right side of the infield. At the very least, a base hit would be better. You have to move Torrey over. Get that extra run across.
Going with the off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Torrey hanging out at second.
Derek Lowe with no wild pitches this season yet. Ross did a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him. Much easier, though, to keep the body in front of a changeup. Going to have that rotation where the ball's not going to spin away. A breaking pitch more difficult to block.
Alberto chopping this one over to second. Ugla has it. And Torrey advances to third base. 1 out.
Well, he did his job. Productive out. You want a base hit there. But you also want to be able to add on. More than likely when you think about what Derek Lowe is going to try to do, either he's going to try to throw a sweeping slider off the outside corner or bust a fastball in on Trumbo's hands. That's why you got to be patient right now. Look for a pitch you can drive in the air if you're Mark Trumbo.
He drove one the last time up, a double into the left field corner, his 9th of the year, but then was stranded at third base. The Angels have left a man at least at third base the last 3 innings as that pitch is down low. Double barrel action for Atlanta. George Sherrill, the left-hander, Scott Proctor, the right-hander, both came into the game last night. Both throwing 1 inning each. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Another breaking ball. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Amarista on deck.
Green light, I think, for Trumbo here, too.
Lays off the breaking ball, and it's a walk. The Angels with runners at the corners. Derek Lowe has issued his 4th walk of the game. Amarista coming up here. 0 for 2. A comeback into the mound. A ground ball to short. Middle infielders for Atlanta. Gonzalez and Ugla playing a little bit further back, looking for that double play ball as Alexi takes outside. A slowly hit ball, and it's going to be tough to double up Amarista.
Seen some pop out of Amarista as far as if he gets a fastball up, he could drive that ball well to the outfield.
Quick throw to first. Trumbo diving back in there. We've also seen Trumbo at times take off towards second base. Mark's got 3 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught twice. The 1-0 pitch. This one grounded toward the hole at short. Gonzalez has it. His only play is to first base, and Amarista is out at first. Alfredo Griffin saying that the foot came off the bag. The run scores. It is 3-1 Angels as Amarista picks up his 4th run batted in.
Well, that was some kind of play by Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. Not only had to field that ball off the end of the bat of the left-handed batter, but also make that strong throw while you're jumping in the air. And an accurate throw to boot.
You see Alfredo's reaction, pointing to the foot of Freddie Freeman at first. And it looks like he did come off the bag. DJ Rayburn hanging up Amarista for the 2nd out. Trumbo advances into scoring position.
But a big run that was. Nice job by Amarista just to hit the ball to that part of the infield, get the job done. Trumbo running hard, safe at second. Still in scoring position here, too.
Mathis swinging at a slider that was outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. First run batted in for Alexi Amarista since his debut on April 26th. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Fernando Rodney's up and loosening. Doesn't appear to be loosening with any sense of urgency. Perhaps Tyler coming back out. Mathis takes low, 3-1.
Well, you can see during the course of this game, Atlanta's is going to stay, and Derek Lowe going to stay away all day long on Jeff Mathis. I almost want to see him crowd the plate a little bit more so. Jump on that outside pitch.
Swing and a miss on the slider. Remember Jeff last year got off to a terrific start before he spent time with the disabled list. He was shooting the ball out toward right center field. He was anticipating being pitched away, and it's been kind of the MO since coming back from the injury. They've stayed away from him. This one off the end of the bat. Another slider away from Jeff.
And his hands are quick enough. If he gets closer to the plate, he still will be able to turn on a fastball inside. Not many pitchers can stay inside on the fastball anyhow, but it allows you more plate coverage away if you get closer to the plate.
A 3-2 count with 2 outs. Trumbo at second base. Borges on deck. 1 run in for the Halos here in the 6th. On top, 3-1. Fouled off to the right. And again off the end of the bat. It's on the outside part
away.
Of the plate. Yep.
You know, if you're Jeff right now, you just think away. And that's the only thing you look for. If Derek Lowe throws a fastball in and catches you looking, so be it. But if you're going to get that many pitches on the outside part of the plate, to see if you can hit that ball to right field and score Trumbo.
Stays away and he walks him. Second walk of the inning. The 5th of the ball game. Elijah McDowell is going to come out and pay a visit. He's got Sherrill and Proctor ready to go in the pen. Borges will be the batter as McDowell heads back to the dugout.
Derek Lowe, he had 17 walks and nearly 58 innings pitched coming in this game, but 5 today.
Yeah, needless to say, that's his high water mark for a game this year. His previous high had been 3, and he had done it a couple times, 3 times.
You fall into the reports of, hey, you can pitch Mathis away there, but his bread and butter's always been the 2-seam fastball down in the right-handers. He went away from that. More difficult for him to control that pitch. Outside, he's walked him twice in the game. He walked Peter Borges, trying to do the same thing, staying away.
Borges with a strikeout and a walk. 0 for 1. No balls and a strike.
Away on a breaking pitch once again.
Lowe has not shown the ability to throw inside to any of the right-handed batters with any consistency. That'll even a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Lowe has 5 strikeouts to go with the 5 walks. He's allowed 5 hits. Two balls and 1 strike.
And for Dirk during the course of this game, really, he's changed speed on his breaking pitch, occasional changeup, but best fastball at 89, his slowest, that would be that slider at 79. So not a lot of differential between his hardest pitch and his slowest pitch. That's why the hitters have been able to track it against him.
Borges lifts a lazy fly ball to shallow right. Hinsky coming on. He'll make the catch. That'll end the inning. The Angels tack on a run. No hits, and they leave 2 on. Through 6, Angels lead it 3-1. Tyler Chadwick back out there. They'll be facing the bottom third of the order. Mather, Gonzalez, and Ross. Mather was at the plate when Freeman tried to advance on that pitch in the dirt. Jeff Mathis threw him out. Mather 1 for 1, an RBI single in the second inning. Drew a walk in the 4th. 2 walks in this game, 5 strikeouts for Chadwick. Mather fouls one back just below our booth. No balls and 1 strike. Last start, that was that game in Oakland. Got roughed up. Much better here this afternoon.
I think the big thing, he established his curveball early in the game, which he said was so important for him. It's tough for any pitcher, particularly a young pitcher, to start incorporating that in during the course of a game if you haven't had a good feel for that from your bullpen session warming up to take it into the game. So good job by Mathis getting to establish that breaking ball early on.
Late on that fastball again. The count still at no balls, 2 strikes. Atlanta with a run on 5 hits. They've left 5 men on base. The Angels with 3 runs, 6 hits. The Halos have left 6 men on base. Not only that, they're 0 for 8 with men in scoring position, although they did pick up a run batted in on a ground out off the bat of Alexi Amarista in the 6th inning. Upstairs in the fastball, 1 and 2.
Chadwick's had a pretty good differential between his fastball and his changeup. 96 and that good high fastball, 78. That's the difference between getting a hitter off balance and not able to track the ball that easily.
1-2, got him looking on the outside corner. Down goes Mather. There's out number 1. A new career high in strikeouts for Tyler Chadwick.
So that was a perfect spot. And that's just a great sequence of pitches set up by Jeff Mathis. High fastball,
then paints the outside corner with some good action on that fastball. That's the four-seam fastball he used to make sure it's a true movement on the outer half.
Gonzalez swings the first pitch, grounds with a Callaspo. Alberto retires Gonzalez for out number 2. Hey, Saturday, May 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final as Barcelona looks for their 3rd championship in 6 years, while Man U looks to avenge their 0-9 defeat and claim their 2nd title in 4 years. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League final begins Saturday, May 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition. How come I read that one okay?
Good job on the times.
Yeah. I didn't throw myself off as that pitch is fouled back. 0-1 the count.
So you're a soccer fan, I think. That was part of it, too.
I don't mind watching soccer at all.
No.
Especially this time of year. It's fun stuff. Ross takes that pitch inside. It's 1-1. Downs is up there as well with Rodney. "106 pitches for Tyler Chadwood. The breaking ball is down low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think ideally, Picho would love to see Chatwood get through this 7th inning and then hand the ball off to the bullpen in the 8th and then, of course, the 9th inning. And Jordan Walden to close it up.
Fastball strike on the outside corner, 2-2.
Still a lot of pop on that fastball. 93. Great location. An unhittable location, really, at 93 on the outside corner at the knees.
Missed down low. It's a full count. Diori Hernandez on deck. Leadoff man. Here's the payoff. Chopper foul, the third base line. Most pitches thrown by Chadwood in a game in his brief major league career was that game against Cleveland when he established a career high in strikeouts with 5 and also walked 5 in that game, but he threw 111 pitches that afternoon.
Well, just have your best pitch of the day right here. More likely to be your last batter. Paint the corner.
Fouled off to the right. .112 now. Good ratio of strikes to balls.
And reach back. Understand this is going to be your last batter. Finish him off.
Ross hits one in the air towards straightaway center field. Borges going back there. He will make the running catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Chadwood as we head into 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Halos leading the Bravos by the score of 3-1. Hall of Famer Don Sutton. The durable right-hander pitched 23 years and in 1986 would reach the magic win total, 300, wearing an Angel uniform.
When I won my 300th game, Gene had us all upstairs. He wanted a picture. He put his arm around my dad and he said, "Mr. Sutton, he should have won the 299 others in my uniform." And my dad melted.
Don Sutton honored before the game, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. He does the analysis on the Braves radio telecast. And wouldn't you know it, threw a strike, even with the Letterman jacket.
He even got it out, too.
That's the way it should be. Don works with Jim Powell over there on the Braves radio cast. Picking up his 300th win as part of that 1986 Angels team.
Hall of Famer.
No doubt. New pitcher on the mound, it's George Sherrill taking over for Derek Lowe. Sherrill pitched in last night's game, went 1 inning, struck out 2. And here in the 7th inning, he'll be facing 1, 2, and 3. It's Sturis, Ibar, and Abreu. Meister Sturis, a 2-hit game, a single, a double, and a fly ball to center field. Spin around a hit from the right side, as will Ibar, who is on deck. The first pitch is in there for a strike. Both teams with 5 hits in this ball game. The Braves have stranded 5, the Angels 6. Breaking ball, cued foul. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Derek Lowe this afternoon, 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks. Allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He also gave up the home run to Torrey Hunter, his 5th of the year. A lot of 5s. Meister fouls this one off to the right, but counts still at no balls, 2 strikes.
I think overall the Angels did a good job as far as trying to work Derek Lowe, trying to get him up in the strike zone if possible. They didn't get a lot of hits against him, but those 5 walks, you lay off that fastball, a lot of times it's difficult to be able to keep it in the strike zone with that type of movement that Derek has.
Called strike 3, and Sturis goes down looking for out number 1. Brings up Eric Ibar. Looks as if it's going to be the end, too, for Tyler Chadwick with Scott Downs loosening. Top of the order coming up for Atlanta. Ibar swinging through that pitch. No balls in the strike. Without question, the best strikeout to walk ratio of Tyler Chadwick's young major league career. 6 punch outs, 2 walks. Ibar drops a bunt on the third base side. Going to be a tough play for Hernandez. That's a single. The ball gets away and it goes into the camera well. An infield base hit and an error on Diori Hernandez. Puts a man into scoring position with 1 out here in the 7th.
Well, that's one of those plays you're better off not throwing the baseball. Ibar very good as far as running down the line. Plus you have to deal with Sherrill being in the way as far as the throw. Pitcher, you're taught to go after every baseball like that, but he's running over there. He almost goes right at him in front of him and forces that throw off balance and away and into the dugout.
There's nothing Freeman can do.
Good idea by Ibar to get that base hit. Still, you see the pitcher running in front. Freeman can't go across. He's going to run right into Ibar if he tries to get that baseball.
Bobby takes the breaking ball in there for a strike. Abreu has rolled into a double play, walked and scored and grounded out. 0 for 2 game. Go with that sweeping slider again. This time it misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike.
I'd be surprised to see Ibar try to steal third, though. Even though you have a left-handed batter up, an easier throw for Ross. He's timing him pretty good. Or Sherrill's look back to second.
Bobby rips one into right center field. That ball is crushed off the wall. Ibar will score. Abreu in at second, an RBI double. 4-1 Angels.
Or that big base hit with a runner in scoring position, that add-on run for the Halos here in the bottom of the seventh. Bobby worked himself into a good fastball count. Sherrill doesn't have that overpowering fastball anymore. Bobby jumped all over that fastball. A nice job, too, by Bobby staying back on that one. A lot of times the left-handed batter will pull off a pitch from a left-handed pitcher. He did not on that one.
That's it for George Sherrill. Freddie Gonzalez making the move to the bullpen. Proctor had been loosening. We anticipate it'll be the right-hander coming on to face Torrey Hunter. The Angels on top 4-1 here in the seventh. By El Pollo Loco. Get into El Pollo Loco today and try our delicious Baja-style fish tacos with classic Baja or spicy avocado sauce. Only at El Pollo Loco. And by Time Warner Cable. Torrey Hunter steps in and takes ball one from Scott Proctor, who pitched last night. Torrey comes up with a 2-for-3 game. 2-run home run in the fourth inning. A double with a run scored in the sixth. He's got Abreu standing at second base. Bobby picking up his 20th RBI. That fastball is outside.
We're still with that good fastball, 92 to 96. Curveball, slider, changeup.
1 inning last night. All zeros for Proctor. A couple of hard hit balls to right. 2-0, lifted foul and out of play on the right side. 2 balls and 1 strike. Abreu picked up his 10th double of the year. His 534th of his career, now tied with Lou Gehrig. 31st all time.
Pretty impressive company.
Torrey shooting one out to center field. Bobby freezes in his tracks. Will go back to second as Mather makes the catch. Torrey just got that one off the end of the bat. 2 outs. Brings up Alberto Callaspo. Alberto hitless this afternoon. 1 fly ball out, 2 ground outs to the right side. A baby now knowing that he's trailing Torrey Hunter, the team lead in RBIs, picks up this one to tie things up. He tried. Not only did he try to
get
tie
an extra lead,
that's right.
Little lead on.
He wanted to jump back in the lead. It's no balls and a strike.
That friendly competition.
Torrey now with 24 runs batted in. Callaspo's got 23. Trumbo with 21. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Abreu's now at 20. 4 guys with 20 or more runs batted in. For a team that has struggled over the last couple of weeks to put runs on the board. 0-2 up and in. Hello. Did it get him? It grazed him, apparently. And Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out and argue. David Ross talking things over with Bob Davidson. Freddie wants a little clarification here as to where that ball got him. An 0-2 fastball up and in. So it's a hit batter. Been a few of those in this series. Yeah,
looked like it did get the jersey.
Yeah. Just
the sleeve. A better view right there. Clearly that baseball went around and hit the sleeve of his jersey.
Well, credit Callaspo for turning in on that baseball. All too often we see guys not being able to close that front shoulder and let the ball hit you in the back of the head or in the back in general as Trumbo lays off the breaking ball and it's in there for a strike. Perfect example last night, Marlon Byrd. The Chicago Cubs getting drilled in the left eye. Taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons.
Yeah, you're right. So many times hitters look out over the place. They're diving out there. They can't react to be able to turn their body.
Breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marlon apparently is all right. Had his left eye swollen shut this morning.
He bounced straight back after being hit.
Yeah.
It's a scary thought when you see that.
He is one tough dude.
Always been a very tough player. See him always diving in the outfield for fly balls, aggressive in the base paths. Just a good all-around player.
Drops in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Abreu at second, Callaspo over at first. 1 run in for the Angels. On top 4-1 here in the 7th. Ross calls time and wants to run through the signs again. Fastball got him looking. Trumbo goes down for the 3rd out. The Angels tack on a run and a couple of hits. Leave 2 on through 7. It's 4-1 Angels. Baseball is brought to you by your local Mazda dealer. Top of the 8th inning here at the Big A. It is 4-1 Angels. Scott Downs now on in relief of Tyler Chadwood. 7 innings for Tyler, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks on 5 hits, 1 run allowed. And Downs comes in after pitching 1 scoreless inning last night. 14 total pitches. Facing the top of the order, Hernandez, Prado, and McCann.
What a great job by Tyler Chatwood. Talked about establishing his all-speed pitches early in the game. Had a good changeup. His curveball was outstanding, and what life he had on that fastball throughout the game.
Diori Hernandez, the third baseman at the plate. He's 0 for 3. He promptly looks at a fastball for a strike.
And the pace that Chatwood had, too, was perfect. Took some time on occasion just to breathe out there, just to get his mechanics right. Be able to get over top of his fastball or his curveball. He was outstanding with that.
Downs ahead of the count here at 0-2. Chatwood got extended as far as pitch count is concerned in that third inning. Loaded the bases after he walked Hinsky with 2 outs, and then got Dan Uggla to pop out. A huge at-bat for Dan Uggla and the Braves. 0-2, punches this one to the right side, and a diving catch by Meister stirs. There's out number 1.
Those great hands by Meister. Read that baseball right away. Off the right-handed bat, too. It's going to go away from him. Tracked that well, made a nice job as far as diving, looking into the glove. Kind of where he's positioned in the defensive end, whether it's shortstop, third base, or second, always been very good as far as making the plays. Spectacular ones and the routine plays.
Martin Prado steps in. 1 for 3 game, base hit in the third inning. Downs delivers a strike. Prado got to start at third base, but moved to left field when Nate McLouth was pulled from the game. Leading off the game, his at-bat with a strained left oblique. Breaking ball is in there. No balls, 2 strikes. Prado doesn't like the call. Oh, 2. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Downs with a 1-2. Prado goes down, swinging on the breaking ball, and there is out number 2. Prado, some words for Bob Davidson. On that second pitch, it was called a strike. Hey, celebrate 50 years of Angels baseball during the 2011 season with the Flex Plan. Select the 20 games you want to see from select Angels home games and receive tickets to Fan Appreciation Day free of charge. Buy your Flex Plan today at angels.com/mini plans or by calling 888-796-HALO. 2 outs and nobody on for Brian McCann. Big rip at it, comes up empty, and it's no balls and a strike. Scott Linebrink is up and loosening. Chopper over to first. Trumbo's got it, waves off Downs, and Scott has himself a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th with the Angels on top 4-1. deposit checks from your smartphone with Quick Deposit. Take a step forward and chase what matters. By Jeep, the Jeep brand now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. And by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Angels on top by the score of 4-1. Scott Downs a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning, and here in the bottom of the 8th, the Angels setting up the bottom third of their order. Amarista, Mathis, and Borges against Scott Linebrink, who makes his first appearance against the Angels in this series.
Fastball 90-95. Very good sink on the fastball. Also, above average slider, changeup, and split finger fastball. That has been very durable throughout his career.
Yeah, it came up through the San Francisco Giants organizations, pitched with the Astros, the Padres, with the White Sox over the last 3 seasons. Alexi Amarista takes a strike. He's 0 for 3, but did have an RBI with a ground out in the 6th inning. His 4th of the year. Lays off the breaking pitch. The count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Walden begins to play catch in the Angels' pen. Fouls this one off the left, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels trying to take this rubber game of the series after winning Friday night 9-0 and then losing last night in extra innings. And trying to keep pace with Texas in the American League West. The Rangers shutting out the Phillies earlier today. That's up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers winning that game 2-0. Oakland right now losing to San Francisco 2-1 that game in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Seattle, who all of a sudden is on a tear, shutting out San Diego 5-0 that game in the 7th. This one fouled back. It was all bunched up in the American League West.
It is amazing. It's only a game and a half separation between first and last.
Seattle at the start of the day 3 games under 500 after having won 4 consecutive games, a game and a half back at Texas. 2-2. Marista fouls it back. Had a big rip there. Remember Rob Piccolo, the bench coach, filling in for Mike Scioscia. Mike at South Bend, Indiana, attending his son's graduation. Matthew from Notre Dame. Two popped up. Gonzalez, the shortstop, backing up. Make the catch, and there's down number 1. Hey, subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Angels game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. MLB.tv Premium lets you enjoy HD quality, home and away coverage, and multi-game view, as well as the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit Angels.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 1 out, nobody on for Jeff Mathis. Looks at a fastball away for ball 1. Jeff 0 for 1. Struck out looking in the 4th inning. He's also drawn 2 walks. Chase that high fastball up and out of the strike zone. Even to count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Linebrink picked up by the Braves in an offseason trade in exchange for Kyle Cofield from the White Sox after going 3-2 with a 4.40 ERA last year with Chicago. A 2nd round pick of the Giants in '97. Mathis hits it in the air to shallow center. Gonzalez going out. The shortstop makes the catch for round number 2. So 2 outs and nobody on for Peter Borges. Peters 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to right. Did pick up a walk in the 5th inning. There's that fastball up and in. Jordan Walden in the 9th inning against the Braves will be facing Hinsky, Ugla, and Freeman. Chipper Jones available on the bench. It's fouled off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two runs in the 4th inning, courtesy of Torrey Hunter's 5th home run of the year. Put the Angels up 2-1. RBI ground out by Amaris in the 6th inning, and an RBI double by Abreu in the 7th. Make it a 4-1 lead as we play here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tyler Chabot looking for his 3rd win. 2-1 pitch. Chopper up the line, and that is foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Fastball misses low, full count. Leadoff man Meiser Sturis on deck. George Sherrill, by the way, got charged with a run in the 7th inning. 1/3 of an inning for him. Proctor went 2/3 of an inning, picking up a strikeout. Borges hits this one well out to straightaway center field. Mather giving chase, still going back at the wall, will make the catch. And that will end the inning. Borges giving it a ride, but we head to the 9th. The Angels trying to pick up the series, up 4-1. League days here at the Big A. On Wednesday coming up, the Angels will have the Oakland A's in town, and all fans will receive an Angels 6-pack cooler courtesy of Sparklet's home and office delivery. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by visiting angels.com. Here in the 9th inning, Jordan Walden comes into the ball game trying to close this one out. 22 games now. 0-1 record and a 3.10 ERA.
But again, just trying to maintain his mechanics. Don't try to overthrow. The ball comes out of his hands so freely and easily at 97 to 99 range. You don't have to try to force the issue. Very good slider, and his changeup's been getting a lot better also.
He'll be facing Eric Hinsky, Dan Ugla, and Freddie Freeman here in the 9th inning. Jordan pitched last night, went 1 inning, walked 2, but allowed no runs. The first pitch fastball is down and away for ball one. Last night when Walden came into the game, ended up walking the first man that he faced. That was Martin Prado. There's a strike. 1-1. Jordan looking for his 8th save of the year. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
When you think about it throughout this game, Henske's had a tough time catching up to a good fastball. Chatwood elevated a fastball in a similar situation. Walden, you might want to try to go upstairs with him. Go that fastball high.
1-2, grounded sharply into right field, a base hit, beating the overshift. And again, a pitch down in the hot zone for a left-handed batter, down and in.
Well, it looked like Mathis was trying to set the target upstairs for Walden to go challenging with a high fastball. Instead, Walden missed down, and Henske once again gets that fastball down very well.
Dan Uggla, 0 for 3. Takes a fastball in for a strike. Uggla with a strikeout, a pop-up. That was in foul territory with the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, and then flied out Eric Ibar in the middle part of the infield in the 6th inning. Chops this one foul. 0-2 now the count.
And seems to appear to be an inside fastball guy, middle in. Has troubles with the pitches away. And you got to see that during the course of the game. Trust your catcher to see if Jeff Mathis could set him up away. Finish him off here, get that first out of the 9th.
Go with the slider. The ball gets away from Mathis, and Henske will advance. Wild pitch by Walden.
Overthrew this slider. Jeff, instead of turning his body, turning the glove around, kind of jabbed at it. Especially with spin on a breaking pitch, it's a difficult baseball to keep in front when you have that approach to try to knock it down on the backhand of a catcher's mitt.
Got him swinging. Down goes Uggla. Better slider there. There's out number 1.
Then outer half. Great break to that slider. You just get a perfect view of the spin of a true slider. On top of it, late break to it. Hitter sees and thinks bad fastball, then makes the commitment to swing and then makes no contact.
Here's Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Takes a fastball for a strike. Freeman, a multi-hit game. A double, a single, a strikeout, and a run scored. 4 for 11 in this series. Checked his swing on the breaking ball. They wanted a peel, and Jerry Lane says didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the off-speed pitch. Missed outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now you're forced into a fastball here, but you have a great fastball. Have to go for a strike.
Freeman expanding his zone there, taking a hack at a fastball away. It's 2-2.
And late. When you know a fastball is coming, that should tell you something on the mound if you're Jordan Walden. He's late on my fastball.
Protecting there. Count remains at 2-2. Another 2-2. Freeman rolls over this one to second as Sturis is there. 2 outs. Hinske advances to third. Rob Picholo, the bench coach, handling the duties here this afternoon. 4-1 lead with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Mike is scheduled to be back in the dugout tomorrow night. The Angels open up that 4-game series against the Athletics. Rotation for the A's still kind of to be determined. They've had some guys go down. McCarthy, Tyson Ross, Dallas Braden's already gone for the year. Jared Weaver, Dan Herron, Irvin Santana, and Pinheiro. Those are the 4 for the Angels. Joe Mather, also known as Roy Hobbs, takes strike 1 here tonight.
Weaver made a great play in center field to Rob Borges for a potential double, even triple on that ball.
He's been unbelievable in this series. Overthrown fastball there. Nice job by Mathis. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's a nice job by Mathis getting in front of that fastball. Had his body shifted perfectly in the glove in the right position to keep it in front of him.
Ball catches you. You don't catch that ball. 1-1. This one grounded to short. Ibar's got it cleanly. The throw to first. Light that baby up as the Angels take the rubber game of the series against the Atlanta Braves. A 4-1 final.
And another victory against a National League ball club, now 51-24 since 07 in interleague play, which is best in Major League Baseball. Tyler Chatwood was outstanding in 7 innings. The bullpen. Downs, and then Walden closing up. Torrey Hunter, the big story of the game, that big 2-run home run, of course, got his second base hit later on. But this is the little things done well today. Defensively, aggressively running the bases, put pressure on Atlanta, and winning another series.
Tyler Chatwood picks up the win. He's now 3-2. Derek Lowe takes the loss. He is 3-4. The Angels, and even 524-24. The Angels win it 4-1. For Mark Dubas and our entire crew, I'm Victor Rojas. We thank you for watching. We invite you to stick around as Angels Live is coming up next.